All right, so I'll come out here to the beehives and try to open it up and show you what's inside the hive, other than just showing you a PowerPoint and pictures I got off the internet. I'm going to show you what's inside this hive. I got quite a bit of honey out of this hive. So we'll go inside there, we'll identify a few things, I'll point some things out, and then we'll show you this short video. Give a little shot of smoke in the front door. Give a little shot of smoke through the roof. So this Swiffer sheet I use to catch hive beetles, I just put it in there a couple days ago. You can see it's already got a couple of them caught. There's another one right there. Unfortunately, sometimes the bees get caught, but this is how we control hive beetles, that and salt on the ground. So we'll pull this, set it to the side for now. We'll take a look. I think these are empty frames up here. We're going to go into the bottom box. Yep, these are empty frames. You see that light white? That means they're actually starting to lay wax and build these cells out. So we'll move on to the next box. When we get through slinging honey, I'll bring those full frames that got wax on them already, cells, and I'll put them back in place of these. We'll go ahead and make these bees go down. As you can see, they run from the smoke. And I got a swarm above my head. Somewhere in that tree is a swarm. I'm going to take a look at that. Maybe not. There's a lot of bees up there. And I'm talking above us. If the camera wasn't mounted, I'd show it to you. All right, this is the Swiffer sheet off the bottom. Look at all the hive beetles it's caught. It was getting bad, so, and I hadn't had a, look at that. I went to put another one. That's crazy. I didn't realize there were so many hive beetles in this hive. That was my mistake. I should have had these Swiffer sheets on there quite a long time ago. All right, let's take a look, see what we can see inside this hive. So we'll pull this first frame out so we have room. You can see on this one has an empty honeycomb. They're building a comb, but they're not putting nothing in it. I don't see any egg, I don't see nothing. Normally you won't find egg. There's some nectar inside of there. Normally you won't find egg. But what you do look for is try to find the queen, because you don't want to set the queen on the ground. And right off, I'm not seeing her. Okay, so if you look in between the bees, you'll see nectar in the cells. So they're putting nectar in here. I don't see anything else on that side. And on this side, nectar, and you can see right there where my thumb is, they cap that, so they like it as honey already. Bees are starting to get a little excited. This is mostly all nectar. Since it's so late in the year, I'm going to let the bees keep it. I'm not going to take it from them. And that is capped brood. That big old sheet has capped brood. The queen could be on here. So we'll be gentle with it. We don't want to squish her because she's doing a really good job at laying eggs and making babies. And we'll put that back in there like it come out. Okay, I don't know if you guys can see it. I'll get my flashlight out. In the bottom, you see that white? That's larvae. Those are baby bees. They've hatched from eggs and are now growing. That's all larvae. I don't see any egg in this one. Shake the bees off. Alright, now you get a better look. Yep, that's all larvae. You can see how small the larva gets out here. And then as you get out to the outer edge, I don't know if you can see down inside these cells out here, but there's a little tiny egg in each one of these. And then as you move in, you can see where they've hatched, and they're little tiny larvae, and then the larvae get bigger and bigger and bigger toward the inside. If you turn it around, same thing here. You got little tiny larvae, and as you move out, you can see some egg. There's a bee tending to one of the larvae. You can actually see in that one, you can see the yellow. That's pollen. I don't know why they stuck that in there, but this is a nurse bee. When the bee first comes out of her cell, when she hatches, her first job is to become a nurse bee. So that's a very young bee. Alright, here we got some capped brood. You can see a mixture of capped brood and larvae. So I'm start looking for the queen. Maybe we can find her. I don't see any drones, so I would show you an actual drone. I don't see the queen. She's much larger than the rest of the bees, but she is the same color, so she's very well camouflaged. And there's another, more brood, capped, and egg, and larva. It would be cool if I could find the queen for y'all. Well, quite frankly, she could be in any one, on any one of these frames. So if you handle the bees gently, like I am doing, without trying to squish one, they stay relatively calm. As you can see, this queen is doing an awesome job. Look at that. Alright, this is a queen cup. There's nothing in there. Sometimes they just practice making queen cups, like they're going to swarm. Look at that, both sides. And I really hope I ain't damaged the queen taking these cells in and out, because it's easy to kill her. Look at there. You see those cups? I know they ain't getting ready to swarm. There ain't no way. Let me look inside these cups. No, they've been made for quite some time. There's nothing inside those. Yep. I gotta get her some frames back in here because she gotta have a place to lay. She is going to town. And we'll pull one more frame and then we'll put it back together. And again, outside frames are usually nectar and honey. And that's what we have here. Oh, there's some bee bread. The yellow in these frames, let me shake them off. So the yellow in these frames is bee bread. They take pollen, mix it with nectar and honey, and this is the protein they eat. So they eat a mixture of bee bread, nectar, and honey. And they produce everything that we're going to talk about in the PowerPoint, from the nectar to get from flowers and tree sap. So we'll push everything back over. And we'll put that frame back in there. Did I pull 2 frames? See, I forgot to put a frame in. So we're going to shove these over. There's room for one more frame. And I'll take care of that when I put these hides back together. And that's it. So we're going to put this one right here. And I got another one laying on the ground over there. And we'll get the bees to run. And it's terrible. You can't help but squish a few bees. You end up squishing a few bees when you disassemble and reassemble these hives. But you try not to. Just slide them up. I didn't hear much squishing. Get everything lined up. Look at all these bees run. Here's a brand new Swiffer sheet. And because there's hardly any bees in this upper frame, I don't expect to, upper frames, I don't expect to catch many beetles. But we'll get control of them. I'm fixing to have to treat them for varroa mites. Oh, there went a beetle. If you see them, you squish them. Oh, there went another one. And there went another one. So they're up here. And that is the inside of a hive. I hope y'all enjoyed that. I hope you learned something from that. I would love to have brought every one of y'all out here in a suit and let you actually peer off in that hive, but we don't know who's allergic and who's not. So I'll bring this video in, get it edited, and show it to you this afternoon. Ciao.